Hello, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're watching this. Taking a break of the corona at the minute because there's also a lot of other projects here that need to be done with deadlines, including Ruby's MR2. So if you watch the videos, you will already know that this car that I'm looking at has already been on the channel. And if you've been an Eagle Eye viewer, it's just been sat under a sheet in the background of the videos for months and months and months. And the reason for that is we've been waiting for lips and barrels. Not barrels, just lips actually. So we've been waiting for those. I've had to build them up, reseal them, put a picture up here. So yeah, those are done. I literally sealed them up last night, and by tomorrow I'll be able to put the tyres on. I'm waiting for two tyres, which I ordered yesterday. So hopefully by the end of the week, I can get the tyres on and get them sort of on here. So I'm filming this in advance. So this is all going to be in two or 3 days worth of filming. So if you watched any of the videos and you like cambered stance cars, there's a lot of information in the videos of this. So Ruby already had a set of weds, they had spacers on them, no camber, and what we do, I've extended the lower control arms on the bottom, fully polybushed the car, some chassis notches, tucking up some loom and just dialing in a lot more camber and stuff like that. Just a lot of R&D into making the stance look pretty sweet. And then it was up to me to do a lot of measurements in lip sizes that we needed to order. I'm pretty sure I got it right. This is always the nerve-wracking bit when you order lips, build the wheels up, and you go to put them on, because there can be some minor differences. And it's pretty scary because it's not mine. But this car eventually will be getting resprayed, so we can pull the arches to make them fit, trim them back. There is actually a lot of mud underneath the rear lip. Yeah, someone has rolled this arch, and if you know anything about rolling arches, you're supposed to clean all the dirt out behind the arch, and I can feel on both sides there's like dirt underneath, and they've rolled the dirt in there. So that's less than ideal, because that is how arches go rotten and stuff like that. So that's not very good. But I'll figure that out. This car will be coming back for some check over and stuff for rust and stuff, because the car needs to be painted and we don't want it to blow through in a couple of years' time. There's a couple of things I need to do before we can start putting the wheels on. Track rod ends, put those on. The tension rods side by side are on the wrong side, so they don't match up to control arms, so I've got to swap them over. I've got to put a set of toe arms on from Hard Race, put the lower front control arms back on, a CV boot, ABS light. Oh, it's like an ABS set. Got to do an ABS sensor, lots of little tedious things like that. And then obviously change the rear springs. I didn't tell you about the rear springs. BC sent us these 18K rear springs. Now this car is a rear engine car, little sports car, so it's got a heavier spring rate in the back than the front, which is weird. Usually it's the other way around, but these are going to be in the back of the MR2, and hopefully this stops any potential rim banging or rubbing on the arches. We need this car to be stiff. This is a static car with lots of camber, and it's going to look good. Also, I just don't want it to be smashing the arch. Having a suspension that's too soft on a static car usually just ruins all the arches. On the front, it was like solid. I don't know what was in there before, but these tiny little springs here are really stiff. So I'm not quite sure about the front at the minute, but it will probably be stiff enough for what we need in this situation. So yeah, this video, if you're interested in what happened before, because it's a big delay since the last video. If you're interested in what happened before, go back and look at the other videos, because it was quite interesting if you're into stance cars and MR2s and stuff like that. So yeah, have a look at those. But the next clip you'll see is me I've just putting all the front end together, putting the rear end together, nothing interesting, but I'll just show you once I've done it. And then we're going to the tyre shop, put the tyres on, come back and test them. So right, so I don't know why or how I managed to do this, but this car couldn't be any lower on its axle stance. It's literally like it's got no wheels on it. It is on the floor, but still on axle stance. I don't know what I did, but whatever. The car is together now, so little tiny springs on there, 18K. We've got the hard race arms on there. Obviously, they still need adjustment. All the front end is back together. Top mounts in both sides. Swapped these control arms around. We've got the lower extended control arms in. They're all poly-bushed. Just need to go to the tyre shop now. Nice. We're gonna pop on.
We do. Right now.
Nice.
Love it.
Nice. Right. Man, I can't wait to get my hair cut tomorrow. I am homeless. Anyway, tires are on, as you see in the last video when I got the tires fit this morning. Yeah, I think it's gonna work pretty spot on. So I'll talk you through my first concern. The tires on the rears, so these are 10. That's a 215 4017. Came out a little bit chunkier than I imagined. Some tires differ in width, so yeah, I mean it's still quite a bit of stretch, but just that tiny little bit of more stretch would have been nice, because it looks kind of chunky when you put it next to these ones. 195/40 on a 9. It's a lot skinnier, not loads, but very slightly. These ones needed to be this skinny tire. I couldn't get a bigger tire on the front of this, otherwise it wouldn't turn whatsoever. So, yeah. It fits. It fits. Bush! And it looks like we just need to roll the arch ever so slightly. And it should clear just as I thought it would. That's good. That is good. I like that. That is shiny. Car is so dusty, man. Yeah, that fits out good. It doesn't even look like there's a lot of camber on it now. Nice. Nice. Shiny. Let's see how the front goes. This is the scary one because there's not a lot of room well, there is absolutely no room for adjustment anywhere apart from pulling the arch, which if I can keep it as factory looking as I can, the better. So, the reason this is so nervous is because I give the measurements and then you have to wait like 3 months to get the lips, and if they're wrong and you did one wrong measurement, you've wasted everyone's time and money. So like a glove. God, I'm so good, am I? Just how I wanted it. Woo! Bush! That fits exactly how I wanted it to. Again, got to roll that lip on the arch a little bit because they're not fully rolled, so it needs a little bit more, but man, that's good. I need to get it on the ground now, but I haven't done the tracking, and this wheel's pointing straight, and this wheel is in quite a lot, so yeah, I need to sort the tracking out a little bit. So I got these new track rod ends here, but yeah, they fit. Ooh, yeah. a very common problem, which I've run into many a times. Oh, it's raining. Let me shut the boot. So if you see this one, fits exactly how I imagined, right? And this is the side I measured up from, because this arch looks pretty stock, and it feels stockish compared to this side. It's like just tucking. So this happens quite regularly. As you can see, there's some rust here where someone's pulled the arch. This arch is actually proper folded over underneath. And you can see there, that dent there is inside out. So someone has whacked the arch out to high heaven. And it actually, I don't know what other life it's had. It might have some paint over the top of that or whatever. But because we can see rust here, it's very highly unlikely that there's a load of filler in there. But the arch has pulled out considerably more because it's tucked in. So same lip, same barrel, same face, same amount of camber, both sides. We've measured it and it sticks in further, which is really annoying. Mainly because you have to run a spacer on one side, and that's purely because of the arch is the wrong shape. Someone's attacked it. Now, I didn't know this was going to be that noticeable. I knew that this arch had more work than the other side. But yeah, the overall end result is you're going to have to put a spacer on one side to get the same amount of stance from the other side, which is annoying because I hate putting on spacers just on one side, but it's quite a lot different side to side. So, wheel is straight here, all right? Not so straight. Because usually, you can get quite a lot of adjustment out of the factory track rod ends on most cars. This car, So, I need to make some track rod end extensions, or if I can buy some, that would be fantastic. I'm not quite sure what thread pitch they are, but that's gonna have to happen. It's touching the bumper here, so I need to trim the bumper. But yeah, tracker looks pretty. Well, it's actually towing in a little bit there, but I can figure that out. Yeah, looks pretty good. It fits how I imagined it was gonna fit. I'd like a smaller tire on the rear, just to bring that arch out a little bit more stretch. Then it matches the front. Then the front looks pretty decent. There is a very small gap, but I'll roll that arch a little bit more, and that will give us the clearance that we need. Yeah, it's just lots of little adjustments now to get that to sit how I want it, which might be a little awkward, but we move. There it is, the money shot. Nice. Matching camber, front and rear. That's what we like. Look at the front fitment. Bosh. Obviously, that is quite a considerable amount of toe in there, so I need to sort that out. We need to make some extensions, or get some made, should I say. Man, that looks good. That looks really good. The back, fat lip on there. Now there's no spacers on this all round now, so that's perfect. There's not a single spacer on it, which is exactly what you want. But like I say, we're probably gonna have to put one on this side because it's literally just tucking compared to the other side. 5mm spacer maybe. I'm gonna put one on there and I'll see what that looks like. But yeah, man, it looks good. It looks good. Everything is sort of like loose at the minute, so I've got to button things up and the tracking's all over the place. But it looks good. It looks good. So yeah, all in all, pretty happy. It all works out pretty much how I imagined it. Obviously I need to do the track rod ends, get it all tracked up, driving straight because it's pointing in all different directions. I'd ideally like a skinnier tyre on the rear, but for now, it seems to work. I need to just fettle the arch a little bit. I don't know, we'll see. It is a bit chunky, but I don't know, maybe I'm being picky. You tell me. I feel like it is a little bit chunky compared to the front. I mean, it looks good either way, but the back needs to come up a hair anyway. So it might look a little bit better once it's a little bit higher, because it is actually quite low on the rear. Considering that needs to come up just above this rim protector, and I'll be pretty happy with that sat. Put a spacer on the other side, and yeah, get it all buttoned up and driving so I can see what bits and bobs need to be done. I've done the worst thing in the world, where you've got a car with really bad tracking and you've pushed it off the wood and you're on your own and you can't push it because the tracking's so bad, and you can't get a jack underneath it because it's too low. I've done this so many times and I will never learn. But I wanted to see it on the floor. Once I see it, then I can see what's happening. So I needed to see it on the floor, and now I can see it, obviously, clearly. Oh well. So yeah, that's it for this video. Let me know what you think. Oh, it looks really good. It does look really good. I wish it was clean so it would look better. But yeah, we'll get around to it. This car will eventually be painted. Probably mentioned it in this video before, but the end goal this winter is to get this painted, I do believe so. Don't worry, the barn find will be gone. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.